Guys, RW here, and I'm going to show you how to install this custom magazine release button. Okay. So you start by the usual procedure of making sure that the weapon is clear. Okay. Taking the what they call the operating handle off. Got Loctite on mine. Keep from rattling loose while I'm shooting. I find it easier to use real tools than the little tool provided by High Point. And then you take the receiver shroud bolts off. Okay, again, I find using a real tool a little bit easier than using the High Point tool. Now, your gun may be different, so just follow the basic procedure of stripping the gun out of the stock according to how High Point says to do it. That's basically what it boils down to. His instructions, basically. You lay the gun so the right side is facing up. And you take out the screws from the cheek rest forward, and you split the stock like a Y. That's it. Okay, same as the grip. Same as the grip screw. So, there's a little, like, Allen head there. Yep, theoretically, there's one more clip. Here at the grip, there's a little clip that needs to get pressed down somehow. Okay, not a problem. Press it out. Yeah, I didn't know about the clip. Never taken one of these stocks apart before, guys, so it's not like I'm a pro at this. Okay. Okay, now it can be wide. Alright. Now, what you got inside, okay, I'm going to try and show you better. The part that we're interested in, guys, is the pin. See how it springs? There's a spring in there. There's a metal pin, and the part you're going to be replacing is the plastic button. Sorry if I was out of frame. Okay, so the way you can get at it easy without having to take everything apart is you just pull it out like this. Okay, now for the 40 caliber and for the 45 caliber, there's a little spring here. Be careful not to lose it, guys. For the 40 and the 45, Scott's custom button assembly will just be a plug-and-play operation. But for some reason, on the 995, about 1/8 of an inch of this metal part here will have to be ground down. So it's a non-reversible type of application, guys. Now, inside this little aluminum part that replaces the little plastic part, there is a tiny little set screw that has been installed with Loctite. And you'll need a 3/64 wrench like this that you'll fit inside there, okay, to put the button on it. And you have to do that before you drop the pin in it, obviously. So the very first thing you want to do is make sure that the distance on your pin is the same when this is installed. A lot of different ways you could do that, guys. You could mark it somehow. You could scratch it if you wanted to. Do a lot of things like that. I happen to have a digital caliper handy, so we'll take a reading on it, and then we'll make sure that we get the same reading after I have to do whatever work is necessary. So let's do it in inches. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a reading from here to here. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to lock. Oh, did I move it? I want to make sure. Did a good reading here. Okay. Now I'm going to lock it. We got 0.4575. When I put the metal one on, oh yeah, Yeah, basically an eighth of an inch is what we're talking about, if you can see that. I'll show you the difference. So like I said, non-reversible mod, so you'd have to get with high point and get another part. Here, am I in frame yet? See, about an eighth of an inch. So I will take my calipers and this part down to the shop, and I will adjust it till it's right. Then I'll come up and finish the installation with you guys. Guys, did my little grinding magic. Okay, still same. Fits perfect. Okay, so now I know I've gotten that. You can get to that point by marking it with a scribe or something hard to scratch it, wrapping tape around it, and grinding on it. Any grinder. I put a tiny little chamfer on it. Anyway, let's get to the installation. You take a 3/64 Allen, you get it to sock onto the bolt, you poke it through the hole, and you hand tighten the button. Do not grab the button with anything. Don't try and Loctite the button. Don't put wrenches on the button. Just finger tight, guys. Finger tight, okay? Don't want to mar it. Don't want to ruin it before it's ever even finished, right? Put the spring back on your mag release pin. Okay. Open it up again like it's supposed to, and get everything situated. Probably easier to put the pin in like that, and then carefully feed. Okay, and you can hold the stock together with your hands and make sure you've got some action. Now, the reason that having this thing overlong is so bad is that then the catch doesn't come in far enough to grab the magazine. It's got to come in far enough to grab the magazine, and unfortunately you really can't test it properly at this point because the rest of the gun parts are not there. So you can't put a mag in there and go, oh geez, is it going to catch? Because it's really, you got to have the rest of the gun parts. So it could be, if you don't get it right the first time, if you don't take careful measurements, you don't do good work, you could end up coming back to it a few times. The little square nuts go in here. That's for your bottom rail, okay? And now you basically just assemble, make sure your mag pin is in there and everything. And then basically you reassemble the stock. You saw me take it apart, so I'm going to skip that. That's going to be boring. Going to reassemble it, and then I'll show you the testing, okay guys? Okay guys, now that the stock is, two shells are back together, before I put the guts back in it, this is the button, okay? And see, it's free to rotate. And the purpose of this button is here you are in your shooting grip. See, before, there was no way to reach that. If you had your finger on the trigger, there was no way to reach that magazine thing without radically shifting your hand like this. You had to shift your whole hand like this. Now, unless you have small hands, you should be able to reach the mag button fine. And you can observe the action on the inside there. Okay, it's normal. It's just like the other thing. All it does is replace that one plastic part, guys. Okay. So, I'll go ahead and put the gun back together. You've already seen me do that a bunch of times, and I'll show you the functionality test. Guys, now once you've got your gun back together, obviously it's going to be clear, but you know, when you're working on guns, make sure you have no ammo, no live ammo laying around, no mags with ammo in them, so nothing accidentally stupid happens. Now insert your magazine and see if it seats. Then pull on it. See if it'll stay in there, and then see if it'll drop out. And if it does all of those things, you win. Okay? And now I've got empty mags here and here, so I can demonstrate something for you real quick before we end this video. Okay, let me get back just a little further here, give you a little more space to see. And the deal behind wanting to have a magazine there so that you're in your shooting position. You've just finished shooting, bang, 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 you go empty, you drop a mag, you insert a mag, bang, 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 drop a mag, insert a mag, bang, 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 drop a mag, insert a mag. You couldn't do that before, guys. Couldn't do it. This button lets you do it. So it's not about looks, it's about functionality, but it is a good looking piece, like everything on the gun. I like it to look good as well as function well. So let's have one last nice close look at that button in the sunlight. Let's go to macro mode, guys. Okay, see how nice that is? See how big it is? This is my thumb. My thumb's pretty darn big. Okay. Very nice action. Free to rotate, and there's a little gap when it's pushed down. There's a little gap so that if you're wearing a glove, it won't pinch your glove and keep the mag from dropping. He thought about that. He's a law enforcement officer, folks. He uses his High Point 40 when he's doing apartment building clearings and stuff. So that's it, man. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you want to get a hold of Scott, I'm going to put his email down below and a link to his eBay sales. But you can also just buy them directly from him. They're very nice. I strongly recommend it. And I got that idea from Painful 13. Thank you, buddy.